I'm Jenny Williams with Extra Living at eXp Realty, and today I'm in my own personal home in High Chaparral interviewing James Daniels, my pastor at Chelsea Presbyterian. You're watching Life Along Highway 280 in Chelsea. Thank you so much for joining us today. I have a special treat for you because you get to meet my pastor, James Daniels. Hey, James.
Hey, good to see you.
You too.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Jenny. I appreciate that. It means a lot to me.
Oh, you are always, you ask something from James or Larissa, his wife.
Right.
They show up.
We try.
You do. You try very hard. And it's not trying, you're doing. So, we were just sitting here talking about what we love about Chelsea Presbyterian. And one of my friends asked me one day, I had invited her to church. She was like, but why Presbyterian? And I said, you know what? It doesn't even matter what it is. Just come to and experience it.
Yeah.
Because it's just so comfortable.
Yeah.
Is that what you saw? And when you had this vision about putting this church plant together? Yeah.
When I had the vision for the church plant, it wasn't, I've been in education for 20 years as a school teacher and administrator, even as a consultant in the past. And so when I felt like God kind of laid it on my heart to do this, I didn't have visions of being in a pulpit and being like this charismatic pastor. I didn't have visions of people like falling in line and acting like good Christian people. I had a vision of, and I think it's what Jesus did, of just being real, living a big life in a small place, inviting people around the table, sharing life with people in an authentic and a real way. And I told God at that point, if I can do that, then yes, I will start this church plant and be a pastor. But if I have to be this pretentious person, if I have to act more spiritual than I actually am, then I'm not interested.
I think people are more attracted to Jesus and learning more about Jesus and following Jesus when they know that we all are real. Like, you can't have this fallacy of a person, so.
Yeah, well, think about this. This is what people don't talk about in churches, and that is Jesus, his ministry. The religious people were mad all the time at him, and the down and outers, the people the outcasts, they were attracted to it. And I think it has to do with his authenticity, his compassion, his love, and coming to say, you don't have to become somebody that you're not. Like, I'm here to do that for you. What if we imagine it as if Jesus did the work for us, and he's saying, come as you are, any way you can bring it, and you rested in that, and then on the other side of that, you're like, I'm free to live. That's amazing to me. And all my life, I felt like that I had to become less of a person to become a Christian. And that's not what you see in the Bible at all. You become more of yourself when you understand what the gospel is really about. The gospel is really about this, that our hearts, and we all know who we are. We're broken, messed up people, more than we want to admit. But we're more loved than we can ever dare to dream in regard to who God is, as a good father that sent his son to do the things that we can't do ourselves. That's what excites me about that.
It is exciting, and it is so hard to take in.
It is.
It's so just.
It is because
massive.
Here's why it's so hard to take in. Because we all beat ourselves up every day, comparing ourselves to other people and trying to be something that we're not. Instead, God made us with a particular glory, and resting in the fact that, wait, you mean no matter what I do, God loves me? Like, yes. As a believer in Jesus Christ, you're like, yes. Here's the thing. It's like my daughter. If she came to me and said, Dad, I messed up. I know you don't love me as much as you did before I messed up. Or if she came to me and said, Dad, look what I did. Don't you love me more now? Like, I feel like an awful father. I was like, babe, you don't have to prove yourself to me. So why would we not rest in that and it's God. That's not me. I'm a messed up father, but I wouldn't even do that. So why do we think that God would, as a father, not feel the same way about us?
And that is actually how I can buy into it.
Right.
Because, having a child, knowing it doesn't matter what you do.
That's right.
Not going to be loved
That's
less.
right. That's right. You grapple with that. I mean, when you know you're loved unconditionally, and the church atmosphere that we're trying to create is this. I mean, everybody's looking for a place to love and be loved, to know and be known, not in spite of who I am, but saying because of who I am. Like people that know me. And I am a very transparent pastor. I'm not going to be the guy on the pedestal that tell people all the time I'm going to disappoint you. But wouldn't it be nice to say, I don't have to put on the front. And we all have good friends like this. We have family members like this. Like, I don't have to be somebody I'm not. Like, wouldn't that be awesome to feel that? And that's why a lot of people come and they say, man, you know what it feels like? Not a church. It feels like family. Because we can be real with each other.
Family that we choose.
Yeah, family that we choose, which is a little bit different because we can't choose our family. But anyway, those are the kind of things that I'm excited about. A place to be real, authentic, and where you're not afraid to be yourself. That's what people are looking for.
Well, and it's comfortable. It's just a comfortable, welcoming, and warm environment.
Right, and that's where, our mission from the beginning was. I think Jesus' ministry is based on hospitality, whether he was inviting people to eat, which he did all the time, or he was just inviting people to himself. And so, one of the trademarks of our church is the brunch that we have on Sunday morning. And so,
y'all, it is so good.
The folks just keep showing up. Like every week, I think it can't get better, and it just does. I tell people, do not eat breakfast if you're going to come to our church. But second breakfast, like a hobbit, right? But what if instead of walking to a church, you're sitting down in a pew, and you don't quite know what to do. You're waiting for people to come say hi. What if you walked into an environment where you had this beautiful feast at the table, and you walk in, and people are gathering around that table, and they want to get to know you, and you're welcome at that table, no matter come as you are. Bring it, and you can just eat to your heart's content. That's what we wanted to be about. That happens at our church every single week.
Yeah, it does.
And
that comes from you and Larissa and who you are as people. And
it started there, but our people rallied around that. We got a lot of momentum as a church right now. That's not even counting like how many people hang out in our driveway, and we're barbecuing all the time. We're just getting ready for a big event right now. We're going to try to feed all of Chelsea. They'll come out and
just a little. He just played that down. But you do. You have a big event coming. Saturday? Saturday.
By the time this comes out, it will be over. But we do a lot of events like this. We show at the Fire Foothills. And we love feasting. We say that's one of our unspoken core values at our church is that feasting is kingdom work. And that's what we're really about. Heaven's going to be eating and drinking, enjoying life. We're invited to a table there, so why not get a little foretaste of it now? But our first purchase was a church smoker. Before we bought anything else.
That's an investment.
That was an investment. And we can feed a lot of people with that.
I know.
But people.
It's so good. Oh my God, you have like the best brisket ever.
Well, I think we got our brisket down. We're our ribs are getting close, and then we love doing that. And there's people that show up in my driveway in different places that we do barbecue that say, I've heard people say, I'll probably never be a part of your church. And I'm like, that's not what we're about. We're about feeding the people. We're about serving without expectation. And we want to be a church that's not only in Chelsea, but for Chelsea. Because if Chelsea community is thriving, then we're thriving.
And you are very vested. Community members know who you are. You are out there helping in any way you can. You're connected. What are some of the things that you're seeing in the community? Like, what kind of needs are out there?
Well, I think one of the underrated one is the food pantry that we have here. We have close connection to that. Heavenly Smile is a great thing to do in that. And I would just tell people, one of the things that we talk about at our church all the time is be a contributor, not a consumer. There's so many things that Chelsea is about that we need to, when I got here, I was talking to the mayor, city council members, getting involved in Kiwanis, the Chelsea Business Alliance. And I was like, tell me how to contribute to my community. Not because I'm here with some agenda to get people to go to my church, but a real genuine concern about how do I contribute and be a part of the Chelsea community. And I think that we're a small church, so there's a lot of opportunity for people to be involved in a church, but Chelsea's also a small community. Small enough to wrap your head around. I mean, you can go to the city council meeting and it's like 20 minutes long, but they're telling you about events in the community. They're telling you what they need help in that way. And that's something that I urge my church members to do, and I would urge the people of Chelsea and beyond to do that in their communities. Just be a good neighbor,
Well, and I remember our first conversation because a friend introduced us at Chelsea Coffee House.
That's right.
And really that's how it works. Living in a small town is awesome.
It is, and I love being out in the community. I never want to be a pastor that's sitting in an office of a church, like on my computer, writing my sermons and, having people come to me. Like, I want to go to the people. And I think we should all be that way. I mean, meet people where they are, because that's what Jesus did, right? He left heaven, he met us where we are. And I think that's the pattern of saying, go to people. Where are they hurting? Where are the needs? Where's the area that we can make contributions in that we can't even think of right now? And just, ask local churches, ask the mayor, ask the city council. I mean, there's a lot of needs out there. And because we live in Chelsea that looks like this nice, affluent, suburban place, there's a lot of people hurting in our community in ways that people can't imagine. So I would just say, man, just pouring into the community is so fulfilling. And that's what we're made to, we're made to live in a community, not to be isolated in that way.
Well, helping people move to the community, I like to be an ambassador for it.
That's right.
And I get to meet awesome
you're
people.
On the front end. Yeah.
Well, I got to be able to at least, share why you'd want to live here.
Yeah.
And it always comes down to the same thing. Awesome people like you.
Yeah.
Out there being our neighbors and be invested. But one of the first conversations we had was, I want a place where I can contribute. And I really haven't been that good of a contributor.
Well,
I've been so busy. I'm so guilty.
Well, and I don't want people to feel guilty, because it's what a family's about. I mean, there's different seasons in our life where we can contribute in different ways. Whether, there's some people that say, hey, I'm in a position right now I can contribute financially, but I don't have time. There's a place where you're saying, man, I love helping people, but I'm not going to be a teacher in the church. And so part of that is just help. What I love is people coming in and dignifying them to say, what particular glory do I see in that person, and how can I plug them in the ways that they want to be plugged in? Because we all want to feel valued in that way.
Right.
And God made us to contribute our gifts in a deep way. But there's different seasons of life. Some people are busy at certain times, and we don't, no one needs a pastor to make them feel guilty. I mean, guilt.
Yeah, no, you don't make me feel guilty. That was just something I'm putting on myself.
Well, I know, but I feel the same way all the time. Like I didn't do enough. But it's back to the stewardship thing that you and I have talked about, and I even talked to some of your folks about. That were your other realtors. So are you doing the best with what you've been given by way of time, money, resources, whatever that looks like? And if you are, then at the end of the day, God says, well done. And so you don't beat yourself up with everything that you could have done or you don't do. Because that's not the God we serve. I mean, that's not what he's about.
I feel better already. This is what he does all day. He just goes around and...
I don't have a real job. I just go around, make people feel better. So there
making
you go.
them brisket.
Making them brisk, serving them food, making them feel better. There you go. But it's fun. And I can't imagine doing anything else than what I'm doing right now. I mean, I'm a small town guy. middle of nowhere, Arkansas, and I just feel like God's called me in 5 square miles to pour out my life into this, and I'm going to do it as long as God allows me. So, it's just like our missionary church, like loving God, loving people, and loving life, and all 3 of those are important. And I feel like I'm living that out. I'm not doing all the right things, and I'm as messed up as everybody else, but I am thriving and flourishing as a human being because I feel like I'm doing that in my calling. So.
Well, it's a great place to visit. If you want to come and meet all the wonderful people that we have at Chelsea Presbyterian, then we invite you. Come join us, and we have some awesome music, and we have really good conversations, and you already heard we have some really good food. So it's just one of the other things that makes life along 280 in Chelsea so special. Hope to see you on Sunday at 10:30 at Chelsea Middle School. Having James here and talking about what makes Chelsea Presbyterian so special, it reminds me that in every single transaction that we have, especially in this crazy, hectic market where a lot of tears are being shed because there could be 20 offers on a house. I made an offer for a client, $50,000 cash, no appraisal, no inspection, over asking price, and did not get it for a client this weekend. The house itself needed a minimum of $15,000 worth of work. That's what kind of market we are working in right now. There were about 19 very, very disappointed people and 1 person celebrating. So what I do see in the end of that is Jesus comes through and God is there every step of the way. I see it. No matter what tears happen, no matter how bad and despair that we feel in the moment, because we might miss out on something, or maybe a buyer backed out on a house, something better is down the road. And I have had the privilege for the past 25 years of seeing it over and over again. So if you're feeling in despair about what's happening in the market for whatever your situation is, maybe you have a house for some reason that nobody's buying, then give me a call at 205-223-1044. We'll figure it out. We'll make it work for you, and you're gonna see that silver lining in the end. I just know it because I've been able to witness it too many times. If you've got a situation where you're just not winning in the market, that's okay. We have strategies that will help you win the right one, because rejection many and oftentimes is God's protection. So let's get together and talk about what's right for you.